Well, good morning. Glad to have you back. By the way, thanks for being in the class. Don't always say that, but I always mean it. A few more points to throw out for our scavenger hunt. We're now on chapter 6, which means we're not far from halfway through the course. I think I said somewhere in the opening remarks in my introduction letter that this course is going to go by really fast, and I think it is. I think it, at least for me, it's hard to believe that we're already on chapter 6. Well, a little scavenger hunt. I think I've got about five or six items to throw out and see if you can find them in the chapter. The first thing I wanted to maybe have you think about is this debate over the issue of slavery during the Constitutional Convention. It's not like it didn't come up. You may find all kinds of information about the discussion, and maybe not exactly on target, but these guys that were at the convention, these are not a bunch of sissies. These were guys that would grab a walking cane and slap you upside the head, and in some cases leave you cold if you disagreed with them. These guys like to argue. They like to have their point of view made, and in at least three places and in three areas, the issue of slavery is dealt with in the United States Constitution. It wasn't always discussed as the issue of slavery. Sometimes it was, sometimes not. But nevertheless, see what you can find out about the great debates that took place over the issue of slavery, and who argued what, and was the ratification of the Constitution in serious jeopardy over the discussion of slavery. Slavery certainly was on everybody's mind between the North and the South well before we get to the Constitutional Convention. So it might be interesting for you to see what kind of role that subject played in creating the Constitution that we hold so dear these days. Well, we're talking about the Constitution and making it and ratifying it. It would be really important and something that you could carry with you throughout the rest of your life to have a good working foundation on exactly what the process involved, what the arguments were. We know that Hamilton, Madison, and Jay and Jefferson, all of them had strong beliefs about what this new experiment in freedom was all about. And anyway, as you read this chapter 6, explore for yourself exactly how serious this Constitution was at the time that they were having the Constitutional Convention, and whether they ever dreamed that it would last this long. The oldest Constitution in the land by far. Number 3, the Federalist. You know, we didn't have political parties as exactly like we have today. But the Federalist, I guess, was as close to a political party as you could perhaps find in those days. What influence did the Federalist have on public opinion? And what happened with the what happens with the Federalists in arguing for the question of ratification? We know that the Federalist Papers are mentioned. You'll see where those were critical to getting the Constitution ratified. Very interesting subject. Number 4, what about the concept of compromise? I mentioned these guys that made up the Constitutional Convention. They were tough old boys, came from all walks of life. America being very agrarian in those days. These were really hardcore old farmers and ranchers, and they're very independent. So what what was their feeling about compromising with each other? How well did they bend their will to that of others just so they could create this Constitution? And what kind of ideals bubble to the surface that we find in the Constitution? What survived after all the arguments and debate? It's a very long and arduous, hot summer while the convention was going on. And what kind of debates won the day and found their way in the Constitution as we have it today? Number 5, what exactly were Hamilton and Jefferson's visions about America and its destiny in the world? What was the Hamilton vision about exceptionalism, and how did Hamilton and Jefferson see the world? Was it similar? Did they get along? Did they hate each other's guts? Explore those relationships in chapter 6 and see what you come up with. Anyway, those are the 5 things I could think of that you might want to dwell on as you're reading through these 30 or so pages that make up chapter 6. Good luck. Have fun with your scavenger hunt, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Bye-bye.